just you can tell very genuine people, and maybe easy to recoup after a bad day or two. You see a nice three-rail kick there from Dang. Well, I think yesterday was a battle of a ton of hill matches. Maybe today we may have something different. Seems like they've been fairly one-sided, even though a couple of them have had a lot of exchanges by both players. It seems like one player coming out on top. And so far as Feliciano here in match number 5.
Tables do seem like they're playing a little easier today. It's a crisp, cool day, sunny out. Yesterday was a little drizzly, a little bit of rain here and there. Tables were probably a little damp. Tough shot on the 2. Sorry, Jeremy. Tough shot on the 2 here.
You're good. Yeah, definitely a tough shot. But I'll tell you, it may be a little light as far as winning the event. Of course, you never know in pool. That's the real deal to it. But you got to like what you've seen as far as he's making a change on the break, and it's got to be, very conscious doing so.
And even at this point here, this blue 2 becomes difficult for the little prince, even though on a normal day it's a hanger. Well, never mind. He's 19. It's still a hanger.
Yeah, a little awkward cueing. Doesn't really need to draw much, just stun to the rail.
You know that the young prince wants to show what he's capable of. Doesn't want to come too far here. Should be fine.
It's kind of a big stretch on a thin hit. Don't really foresee any problems on the 6 though, so just all about getting the 5 down. And young Bernie with a chip in 9 now on the board after 5 games. It's 4-1 Feliciano. Bernie does break though in game number 6, so we've seen a couple little comebacks today already. SVB, a nice one against Ko Ping Chung. I do think Ko Ping Chung was the class of day 3. You could say maybe SVB as well, but you got to watch those matches by Ko Ping Chung yesterday. The layouts were super difficult. The situations were just as difficult, and he made nice work of them all. What is Bernie, 19, right? Is that right?
That is correct. Looks like he's about 15, in my opinion.
Yeah, how sweet it is. 19 years old, top of the world.
I'd like to get a break and run here.
Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
feel a little better, right? If he gets the 1 down and gets a shot on the 2. The 2's in a good position to possibly get a shot. We are random rack. Well, the 2 has gotten kicked by the black 8 up to the top, and the 9 is going to provide cover on the white as well.
How often is that the speed of the cue ball when it doesn't catch the 9 and it goes back and forth underneath? It seems like the speed rests right underneath the 9 quite often. It seems like more often than any other speed on the cue ball coming back and forth. Difficult here. You got to really put them on the rail, make things as hard as possible. Jason's really had a tough time of it today. Of course, Skylar Woodward played a pretty solid match, and he's looking to get on the board. I think he lost that match 5-1, so only trying to win his second game here in his second match. You can hear the crowd favorite, the fans cheering him on. They're not giving up on him, as Jason's not giving up on himself. Second place in this PLP last year to FSR, which is like winning because FSR won everything anyways.
That's a very good point. Almost
Okay.
looked like he went at this, but I don't think he could have due to the position of the cue ball.
All right, Bernie's got a chance to make a nice clearance here. Gonna make a tough 2-ball.
Yeah, he's got to avoid the 9 here. That's going to be an issue if he does get the 2 down.
And that is one of the shots you definitely have to aim a little thicker. Ball just cuts a little easier, the prime conditions. These lights probably don't put off a lot of heat overall, but like you said, very crisp conditions outside. And of course, the perfect pool balls, perfect equipment overall. Wow, this is nice. Is this cue ball gonna agree? It is.
Yeah, that was nice, Jeremy. What a clean hit that was.
From nowhere. From absolutely nowhere. Could have stopped his cue ball and taken the 4 on in the corner with the 5 hanging, but
Yeah, one thing I like about him, though, I've watched it more and more now, and obviously you've watched him a lot more than I have, is he'll make a mistake like that, and then he just gets on with it. Like, he just gets on with it. It's like it's built-in part of his game.
yeah, even beyond the mistake, I think even when he's flowing, I think he just kind of does the same. So now Bernie can he come 2 rails off the left long rail? Maybe the 9 has him. And this is the kick shot that I like. Could fluke the 5, could fluke the 4 in the side. Maybe a little action on the 9. This is going to sit in the gap, maybe. We'll see. That's real close. The 9 may have him. I was going to say, this would be where they would take a little jump with the full cue if need be.
Well, it's not terribly like another rotation, but distance on these tables can really help you. I expect the young man to get this down, but he's elevating. Tells me it's, I don't know, he's pretty level. That's that distance, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and we haven't seen a lot of players really level out and knock in that long ball. And one thing you'll do a lot of times on that shot is like he did there is you'll put a little extra speed because you don't want to sell out just the easy one laid up in the pocket if you miss, but at times that also causes the miss. Wouldn't doubt if he knocks this in right behind missing the last. Oh, there it is. Great jump shot.
You called that.
Yeah, well, the last one was a missable ball. Of course, this is as well, but knowing the youngsters these days and how good they, probably sleep with the short cue, tuck it in every night. And he can come around it. He could draw one rail. There's a lot of options here.
Yeah, he's going to the 1 rail. He does look better. JP Marboy's founder and manager said he did finally sleep some last night. And I think that's something SVB's always been able to do real well, which I've always been jealous of, Jeremy, is he could sleep without any problems.
Yeah, usually that is the case for SVB. 4-2 is our score here. We'll have a short break. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that face walking off. Not too happy, Jason Shaw. 2 losses now today, both at the clip of 5-1. Dane gets back on the board. Good news for last year's Spanish Open champion, but not so good a news for last year's Hanoi Open champion. So ups and downs here on day 4. That's part of the Premier League pool. All right, much better looking on the break. Definitely they're starting to look more alike each time, and that's a good sign for Michael.
Yeah, everything coming together for him.
Yeah, you know, again, it may, ooh, that's a little too thin, surrendering ball in hand.
This is one of those matches where it could creep up and haunt him. Regalario not looking bad to me, striking the ball well, quite clean, doesn't look negative in any way. This is just one of those matches, Jeremy.
Xero helps you see all your business information in one place. So if you'd like to find what you need, all you have to do is look.
Me to look at things. That's how I played my best. But for Feliciano moving forward, this break looking better. There's going to be plenty more events for him to play in this year. So got to take something from nothing as best you can. Wow, and that's a miss, and by some piece as well. I don't think he's going to get much of a roll. Near did he really deserve one? Just kind of mishit the cue ball is all I can tell you there.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had any real bad body movements or anything like that. He just clearly mishit the cue ball, and that is a big miss, and he's not going to be happy with it.
No, and I say mishit the cue ball. I didn't see it, but I mean, the players just don't aim poorly. They just don't do that. And in fact, you've never really heard a pro blame the aim, or at least I haven't. They may say I hit it thick or thin, but they really understand something in the delivery didn't go well. Interesting. He can go forward easily here, 1 rail or 2.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Not sure what the issue is.
Right.
So Feliciano said, please keep me on table 1 for the next match as well.
Yeah.
Can we rearrange the schedule a bit? I'm just going to win 2 matches in a row here on day 4. And Bernie, his camp stays positive, keeps him going. He'll be better. Feliciano's definitely heating up. Short break. We'll be back with more.